Okay, so good evening, everyone. This topic is going to be a very short one, and the reason I'm talking about it is because it's a sensitive topic. Secondly, it happens to a lot. It happens to a lot of widows. Okay, I'm from Nigeria and an Igbo woman. And this topic that I'm going to talk about is something that quite a lot of us Igbo women have heard about or is happened to them. And people people just do not like talking about it. We just do not like talking about it. We don't want to make it public. But it happens. It happens. And I believe that if we do not talk about these things, then one, it will continue to be, we're going to just keep going through the same treadmill. And the topic is what happens. It doesn't happen in every family. Let's be clear. It doesn't happen in every family. But I know quite a number of women who this thing has happened to. And it doesn't really matter whether you're married into the most backward family or the most educated family. It seems to be a phenomenon well known in the Igbo land, which is that when a husband, especially husbands, it hardly happens when a woman dies. When a husband dies in Igbo land, okay, the first person people blame, people accuse, is the wife. Okay. So a man has died. Maybe you married this man. In my case, I married my husband when I was in my early 20s. And was nearly lived with him for 43 years before he passed. And if nothing else, this man has been a significant part of your life. This man has been a significant part of your life. So the man dies, and the woman is already devastated about the loss of her husband. But guess what? His family chooses that time to heap even more trauma on the woman. And what I'm saying is, no, I'm not saying it for myself. I'm just saying it as for us to begin to look at this phenomenon. Why does it happen? Why does it happen? That a man dies and the first thing the family says is, one, you didn't do your best. In fact, you didn't look after the man. You're the one who caused whatever happened. You maltreated them, you didn't feed them, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And you are wondering, how could this be? Because, it happened to me. It happened to me. So, but what I want to women to understand is that if this sort of thing ever happens to you, one, what I want you to do is to stay focused. Okay? Because when you're at the time when you're going through the loss of a husband, and then you're going through this added trauma of accusation and gossip, I mean, a day you can sometimes lose yourself. You can lose your focus and forget that the person who died is the focus. You want to give the person your best. You want to give that person the best burial. In my case, when my husband died, I was met with the wall of Jericho. The wall of, if you know what the wall of Jericho is, something you cannot something you cannot break through. It was almost as if the things that I heard I had done was almost so bizarre. The things I heard I had done was just so shocking to me that I was wondering, is this for real? And the worst thing is that people will believe these things and you have no control over it. That's what one thing you must understand is that when your spouse dies and there is you're being accused of all manner of things, there is only one thing that you have to hold on to. You have to hold on to what you know to be the truth. I know it's very difficult. It is so difficult, but you have to hold on to it. That's one. The other thing is that do not waste your energy, do not waste your time, effort to explain things, because I made that mistake. Oh, God, what did... Hey, I didn't do it to call my... No. Don't make the mistake of explaining what you know not to be true. Because part of that explanation is the trauma that the people who are accusing you want you to go through. They want you to lose focus. That's one. The other reason the families may be accusing you of all sorts of things could be part of mourning that person who has died. Okay? Because believe you me, because you don't live with somebody and you're far, especially if you are far, you don't necessarily know that that person is coming to the end of their life. You can speak to them on the phone and they sound really good. They sound as if everything is going well. So obviously when you hear that they've died, your first reaction will be, what happened? What did you do to him? So sometimes when families react in that way, it could also be their way of dealing with the shock, because the only person that they can vent their anger on will be the wife who lives with them. The other reason, of course, could be that people are just wicked and do not like you. You have to accept that some people are wicked, jealous, and do not like you. For no particular reason. For no particular reason. And the other thing you could also consider is that it's been known that sometimes people actually live with their enemies without actually knowing. So that the person who is telling the tales could be your loved one. That is all, it's a possibility. So that your loved one has set this thing in motion for their own reason, maybe to deflect attention from themselves. It's possible. If they say, oh, my wife is killing me, is doing this or is doing that, to deflect attention from themselves. That's possible. But whatever the reason is that you are being accused of having a hand in the demise of your husband, or not looking after him, or wanting him dead, and so on and so forth, you must always always get consolation from the fact that you know the real deal. So somebody like me, who looked after my husband for almost 9 years, I knew the the ins and outs. I knew his lows, I knew his highs, I knew his desperation, I knew everything about him. That must give you consolation, and you cannot deviate. The other consolation you can have is that there will be people on your side. Your children who live with you, people who know you, who actually know you, who see you. I'm not talking about people who see you outside and you laugh and chat. No. I'm talking about here, for example, here in the UK, I'm talking about nurses, I'm talking about doctors, I'm talking about carers who come into your home and see how your loved one is being treated. And even your own spouse, the things your own spouse were telling you must give you comfort. So, for example, my husband will say, without you, I would have been dead a long time. Without you, I would have been dead. But my husband was a very mischievous man. My husband, may his soul rest in peace, he was very mischievous. But I've forgiven him everything before he died. In fact, when he became ill, I saw a human being. All his bravado, I just saw a vulnerable human being. And the worst thing you can do is to kick somebody when they're down. For me, I just made up my mind that I'm going to treat my husband with compassion, with care, with love. Occasionally getting angry, occasionally being frustrated, because we are all human. Nobody's perfect. But saying that in the main, treating your husband with care, love, and attention. And even somebody like my husband will go to hospital and he will be telling his doctors that his wife is the cleverest woman on earth, embarrassing me. He will tell his consultant that without me, he would have been dead since. But on the other hand, I didn't know what he was telling his family. So it's a short video for us to, especially if you're one of those who, who behave in this way. You have a brother, he dies, and the first thing you do is to jump on his wife. Ask yourself question. How many times did you, as the sister or brother, go to see the man? Assuming the person was ill like my husband for 8 years. Of that 8 to 9 years that he was ill, how many times did you go to visit him? And if you didn't go to visit him, why didn't you go to visit him? Genuine reason, because normally they will say, oh, that the wife didn't allow us. So if you're that kind of person, know that in this life we live, there's nothing on earth that goes unpunished. Everything we do, even if we think we've done it in hiding, in secret, that God doesn't know. And also, if you're the sort of person who bullies a widow, know that it is a dangerous business to bully a widow, because it's there in the Bible. Anyone who is a Christian will know that the karma that descends on people who bully widows is just unreal. So if you're that kind of person, ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you're jealous? In that case, deal with your jealousy. Why are you doing this? Normally, sometimes, some people will do that where there's a great deal of wealth. So if they castigate the woman, chase her away, then they're able to maybe take whatever the man has left. In some cases. So, but what I'm also going to say to women who are going through this, be focused, calm, be calm, take consolation from what you know to be the truth. Take consolation from what you know to be the truth. And have your loved ones, lean on your loved ones, lean on your children, because your children will be saying, oh, mommy, just ignore. Lean on your children, lean on those your siblings who are there to protect you. Okay. The reason I'm saying lean on your family, it is important that you lean on your family. And because sometimes friends are part of the problem. Sometimes people you think are friends are part of the problem. So I'm going to stop here now, and hopefully pray that women will not continue to suffer the for me, I won't say it was, I'll call mine a great annoyance, because everything I planned to achieve for my husband, I achieved it, which is to give him a befitting burial. So if you like this, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.